Many thanks for joining us right here on Look Up Weekend. My name is John Matava. Today being the 26th day of April 2024. We have a lot for you tonight, including an update on the current ongoing floods in the country. That and much more will be coming to you. But first, the top stories. Tonight.
Na sasa saa hizi mpaka masaa hizi tumekaa barabarani kwa sababu ya maji ambayo imenyesha, mvua imenyesha, malaga imeteremka sana.
Houses marooned, residents displaced and roads washed off as floods continue to wreak havoc across the country, with warnings from the Med Department that more is yet to come. The death toll continues to rise.
I am a registered member as per the register that is on the party's portal. However, when it comes to the gadget, I do not appear as a bona fide voter.
The UDA party kickstarts its primaries in different counties as technical hitches slow down the process. And
you will hear that the National Assembly and the Senate, their statement, as much as they are condemning, are more of complaining.
Who will surrender first? Government and doctors meet in combat as each side defends their position with a strike in its second month. Many thanks for joining us right here in Look Up Weekend. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Felista Adundo. Let's get started. The Kenya Met Department has issued a heavy rainfall advisory to several parts of the country, including Nairobi, highlighting the risk of more intense flooding from the 25th to 28th of April 2024. This comes as the rains wreak havoc in different parts of the country, causing not only destruction of infrastructure but also displacement and the Ebi Kadenyi files the report on the flood situation in the country.
The rain that was expected to be a blessing to the citizens, including farmers, has now turned into a cause of destruction and a source of pain. Villages marooned, roads impassable, houses submerged, bridges have been washed away, and Kenyans rendered homeless as their homes become inhabitable. Pain and despair, the faces of flood victims, are a testament to their loss. Kenyans from different parts of the country have continued to be heavily affected due to the flood that continues to destroy their homes, while the number of disasters continues to increase rapidly, with the Kenya Meteorological Department warning of even disastrous outcomes in the coming days. Residents of Samburu are one of the people affected after Baslinga River burst its banks. The river blocked Marara-Luamba Road, which is the main road of the county, and caused residents to be unable to continue with their daily activities for 2 days now. The residents have called the President William RUTO and the Transport and Communications CS Kipchumba Murkomen to visit the place of the incident and help them because the river has been troubling them for a long time now.
Nauliza serikali, RUTO, uko wapi tafadhali kuja utusaidie. Sisi ni wakina mama. Mpaka sasa tumewasha watoto nyumbani, hakuna mtu amewasaidia.
Elsewhere, just a few days after the residents of Athi River were evacuated from their homes due to River Athi breaking its banks, the county government of Machakos has partnered with different stakeholders to help the affected families by bringing them food and other items. Speaking during the food distribution exercise, the county government officials say the flooding condition is getting worse and they want the people who live on the banks of the river to move to other places.
Hii mvua bado iko mpaka next June. Mnajua June? Second week of June. So tutakuwa pamoja na tunaomba mkae mahali iko safe. Msiende mahali tuliwatoa jana kwa sababu hatari bado ziko.
Kenyans have been urged to take advantage of the long rains to plant more trees to increase forest cover and reduce the floods disaster. Conservationists say the floods being experienced in many parts of the country are as a result of the destruction of trees, which can only be prevented by planting more trees. Greens of Africa Foundation, in partnership with Equity Bank, Kenya Defence Forces, are targeting 30 million trees. They joined the community in Mida Creek for the 4th time consecutively and planted over 100,000 mangroves to help restore the mangrove cover that had degraded for the last few years.
Na tumeshirikiana na vikundi tofauti hapa katika Mida Creek, na kwa hii siku ya leo tuko na wenzetu ambao wametuhifadhi, tumeweza kushirikiana ili kufanya hii restoration kupitia kwa ufadhili wa Equity Bank.
Ebi Kadenyi, Lookuptv.
The government has scaled up measures to mitigate disaster caused by the ongoing enhanced rains and floods, even as the Met Department warned that the heavy rainfall will continue through to the weekend. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua on Friday said the government has made several interventions, such as a financial allocation of 4 billion Kenyan shillings for immediate response to the rains disaster.
Put up about 4 billion Kenya shillings as an emergency intervention from the National Treasury, and we'll make sure at least that the NYS that is doing a lot of work is sufficiently facilitated with resources to be able to carry out the work of settling the people who need to be settled, unblocking drainages, trying to help with the dams where the water is coming from. We'll be able to put some resources to the National Disaster Operation Center so that the people there are able to stay there 24 hours to monitor the situation across the country and propose and initiate the necessary interventions that are required. We'll be able to put some resources to the National Police Service, to the Coast Guard and to the Ministry of Interior as coordinating and logistic interveners in this matter.
KMPDU now says the strike is still on after the Council of Governors and CS ELD failed to appear before the Joint Committee of ELD on Friday. The union has accused the government, both counties and the national, of being arrogant and inconsiderate to their plight. The union has proposed the removal of ELD and a devolved unit. Onesimus Musonye with the details.
As the doctor strike enters the 44th day today, a joint meeting of the Senate and the National Assembly with KMPDU proved futile.
A joint committee of the Senate and the National Assembly. And I think Kenyans must start asking questions. The questions of whether it is better to continue having health under the governors, since it seems that they are unable to manage.
The union, through the Deputy Secretary General of KMPDU, Dennis Miskela, now says the nationwide doctor strike will continue.
Go to the county, they tell you it's national. Go to national, they tell you it's the county. Finally, we come to this neutral arbiter, they don't show up. We are going to stay home, despite the canes, the threats and everything. We will stay home until the government, both county and national, come from the strike that they began 7 years ago.
The union saying the Council of Governors has been reluctant in addressing their concerns.
While the senators and the MPs are surprised, we are actually not surprised at all. We would have been surprised if they turned up for this meeting, because we have dealt with these people for the last so many years, and we know the arrogance with which they come and they don't care attitude with which they come.
KMPDU now firmly saying doctors shall not be intimidated until their demands are met.
And as from 10th, our members in Tharaka Nithi will join the strike, and we are going to continue having that strike until such a time we, the Kenya National Union of Medical Lab Officers, will have our issues fully resolved. We have a very small issue, and that is an issue of recognition agreement.
Onesimus Musonye, Lookuptv.
Governors has been summoned to appear before the Joint Parliamentary Committee on the ELD deliberation on the ongoing doctor strike that has now entered its 44th day today. The governors, however, failed to appear before ignoring summons by the committee. Brian Amwai with the details.
Days since the strike began, the end seems to be too far, as a solution to this strike now hangs in the balance, with each side of the divide holding on strongly to their stance and sending the whole healthcare system to ICU. On Friday, in a bid to end the prolonged deadlock between the government and the striking medics, a joint parliamentary sitting on health summoned CS Health Susan Nahumicha, Treasury CS Njuguna Ndungu, and Labour CS Florence Bore, together with COG Chair Anne Waiguru. The summons aims to address the escalating crisis that is currently holding the nation's health system by the thread. The relevant authorities were, however, not short to the chagrin of the elected leaders.
This was a meeting that was meant to bring everybody into a sitting and find a lasting solution to this problem. It is not excusable for cabinet secretaries not to attend, and I've heard what Senator Sifuna said to the president. Yesterday did made a statement that cabinet secretaries now appear before parliament.
They have run away from the committee, they have run away from parliament. How else are we supposed to have this conversation? And because they want us to talk to each other through the media, I have been informed that the chair of the Council of Governors is watching these proceedings from a safe place. I want to tell the chair of the Council of Governors that she has lost my support.
Mr. Chairman, what these entities have shown to Parliament is contempt. And we've got the powers. If you read Article 125, read together with Article 153.3, Cabinet Secretary shall attend, not may attend, shall attend to the committees of either House. Today, Mr. Chairman, the committees of both National Assembly and the Senate are seated here to be able to resolve this crisis. Yet, we are being shown contempt.
And the people who are bearing responsibility in ensuring that Kenyans receive the services that they deserve from our government must take their responsibilities seriously.
The committee has moved to summon the leaders to appear before it on Thursday next week.
This meeting cannot continue. Those governors, the Council of Governors, including even the chair of health of the Council of Governors, who is not here, must be summoned to be able to come here and give the way forward. We cannot, a matter cannot come to this house and we continue playing politics on it. If these stakeholders were invited were serious, they would have been here to be able to resolve this crisis. So for once, Mr. Chairman, let us summon all these people within 7 days, and all of them must be here. If they are not here, Article 125 gives us the powers to compel that witness to be arrested and to be brought here to be able to deal with this matter once and for all. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I therefore concur, Chair, that actually we reconvene a next sitting, invoke our standing orders, and summon every of the stakeholders that we needed to attend our sitting. And for the avoidance of doubt, any of them, of any other activities, should shelve them. And in case they do not, then they will face the full force as prescribed in our standing orders. I think we in Parliament have been lax to invoke the necessary standing orders and powers of government. Not only to summon, but actually to indict them and even impeach so that they can take the seriousness of Parliament and matters of this house very seriously.
Day 44, and the situation in hospitals calls for urgent surgery by both the government and the doctors. The lifeline of Kenya's healthcare system is hanging on the balance. Brian Amuai, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
You're watching Look Up Weekend, 14 minutes past 9 p.m. And of course, that story by Brian Amuai takes us on a short break right in Look Up Weekend. Stay with us. We'll be coming back with more news for you.
Yes, karibu customer. Jambo. Nzuri. Utakula nini leo?
Nisaidie ugali na fry nusu.
Nusu fry hapo na ugali? Yes. Haya.
Wewe, nani amekuitisha hii yote?
Hapana, tulia customer.
Hapana, mimi sitaitisha hii yote.
Huku ukiitisha tunakuongezea bonus juu yake.
Kwa hivyo hii ni bonus.
Just got bigger and better. Beta na Loto. March your 6 lucky numbers na Loto na ushinde times 20,000 bet yako ndani ya hourly draws. Kila siku kuna guaranteed Jinue bonus times 10,000 your bet. The more you stake, the more your bonus. Jipange pia ndani ya Loto na shopping vouchers worth 100,000 na a brand new probox kila wiki. Kila Wednesday and Saturday kuna up to 200 million ndani ya grand mega jackpot. Changamka, jinue na Loto. Ingia M-Pesa paybill 777-000. Account Look. Amount shilingi 50 hadi shilingi 2,000.
Over 18s only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. This message has been approved by the BCLB.
Changamka, cheza Loto.
Are you a junior secondary school, a college, a TVET institution or a university and you want to advertise your intake? Book now and advertise with us today on both Lookuptv and all our digital platforms. Call us today or email us on sales@lookuptv.co.ke. Come, let us show you place spot to build your dream home in Baraka Garden, situated just 5.4 kilometers from Blue Post Junction along the Thika Gatura Road. Place finest with secure gated community, Margina Steamer Eco on-site, Usitans na stories za title deeds ziko ready. Plus, flexible payment plans and financing options. Pay 30% and clear the rest in installments. Get in touch, twende site visit. For more information, contact 0794 333 222 or 0722 668 700 or visit our website www.mahasibuhousing.co.ke. Experience the beauty of Baraka Gardens today.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, the senior sergeant, that is John Kinyua Mureithi, was laid to rest today at his home in Kirinyaga County. Mureithi died in the Kenya Defence Forces helicopter crash along the CDF Francis Ogola, and as Maureen Bosire now reports, hundreds of families are turned up at Kirimunge Primary School ground for the burial of the 38-year-old.
Hundreds of friends and family turned up at Kirimunge Primary School ground to witness the burial of Senior Sergeant John Kinyua. The family members described him as a dedicated, obedient and hardworking man who was loved by residents.
Your love and affection is beyond explanation.
Where you cooked delicious meals for the family and you selflessly assisted in serving the family members.
Kirinyaga Central Member of Parliament Kachogi Gitare condoled with Sergeant Kinyua's family, urging the warring communities in the North Rift to silence their guns and give peace a chance in honor of the fallen soldiers.
It's my plea to all the warring people within the North Rift so that we can honor these fallen soldiers. Tafadhali munaweza acha hii maneno.
Kirinyaga County Deputy Governor David Githanga mourned the death of Senior Sergeant John Kinyua, adding that Kinyua's wife works in Kirinyaga County office.
Ningetaka kusema that the wife to the deceased, Grace Wamboi, ni mfanyikazi wetu kule kwa county. Kwa hivyo tunaomboleza pia kule kwa county. She's been our employee since 2019. As a laboratory officer.
Brigadier Samuel Kipkoridas also termed Sergeant Kinyua as a disciplined, devoted and hardworking person.
Nataka kusema Mureithi alifanya kazi vizuri, vile nimesema. He rose through the ranks mpaka senior sergeants. Na alikuwa mtu mzuri, very disciplined, very hardworking. Hatukuwa na shida naye. Nataka tukuambia familia, mtulie. Hata sisi tuko na huzuni sana.
Sergeant John Kinyua was buried in Kirimunge village, aged 13, leaving behind his wife Grace Wamboi and 2 children. Maureen Bosire, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Governors from the Mount Kenya region have revived the push for the one-man, one-vote campaign as the Commission on Revenue Allocation now kickstarts its views collections exercise on the fourth revenue sharing formula. The governors insisted on a formula that speaks to the region's prowess for production, insisting the three earlier formulas have greatly been designed to take away from the region. Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga has called on the CRA to allocate resources as per the region's contribution to the national cake as opposed to equal treatment at the table. Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga is urging the CRA to allocate resources based on regions' contribution to the national economy rather than treating all regions equally.
Have you ever asked yourself this question? Who bakes the cake? Because once we ask ourselves that question as commissioners, as governors, as Kenyans, then we will not give someone a knife and another one a panga to go and eat the cake, because it's already telling us that one is advantaged, the other one is. And so we must start with the key. As the chairman of the Central Region Economic Bloc, CEREB, Kahiga also advocates for establishing a baseline shareable revenue amount for county operations before considering other factors. We have 47 counties. It's pointless to start speaking about sharing if if any of those counties are not working. We must make sure, sit here and ask ourselves, for one county to be working in Kenya today, what is the minimum we must give every county across this country, regardless of whether Lamu has 110,000 people, Nyeri has 1 million, Kakamega has 2, Kiambu has 3. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm a Kenyan. Yes. And if Kenya will develop, let us stop. You know, we are still working around the colonial mentalism. The CRA plans to gather input from various economic blocs, including CEREB, for the fourth generation revenue sharing formula. Deputy Governors Nyagamo Israeli from Tharaka-Nithi and Reuben Kamuri from Laikipia supported the approach.
And we have to want to ensure devolution is here to stay. Thank you. Devolution is here to stay. And I would urge, because we are sharing revenues, you are saying that you cannot feel that it is here equally. No, it is for equity. Ensure that you are not giving somebody who is already developed more money. Ensure that we bring up the other one is somehow crippled.
So part of the formula would request for major consideration those counties that have serious insecurity issues. What are you doing about them? From a budget of 5.4 billion, and we are lucky to get what now we have projected this time out, an own source of 1.4, which is coming out to 6.9.
John Matava, Lookuptv, Nairobi. An outfit led by the Jubilee Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni has announced a conference dubbed the Limuru 3 that will be held on the 17th of May this year in Limuru. The meeting, according to Kioni, will bring together like-minded leaders and residents of Mount Kenya to discuss issues affecting the Mount Kenya region, ranging from cultural, social and economic matters, including politics of the day. Kioni has, however, rubbished claims from his critics that the Sagana 3 is a political alignment meant to discuss leadership of the expansive Mount Kenya region.
Meeting here for a few weeks to deliberate on the issues most affecting our people, and together we have resolved to call a meeting of like-minded people called the Limuru 3. The Limuru 3 conference, therefore, is a people-driven initiative to discuss matters affecting our people socially, culturally, economically, and politically. The Limuru 3
is a team preparing, and we are talking about maneno ambayo inatukera sisi wote kama watu wa mlima, na sio kwa sababu sisi pia tukisuruhisha yale ambayo yanatukera, mtaona ya kwamba pia itakuwa tumeleta suruhu hata kwa mambo ambayo yanawakera wa Kenya wote. So it's not that we are meeting in exclusion or anything, but it is that we feel like there are issues that we need to discuss.
Hii platform si ya politicians. Yes. Si ati Damali simama wapi. Hapa hakuna ukubwa, hakuna uheshimiwa. hapa ni wewe mgenge true, mwananchi, wewe student, wewe mwenye unauza kitu njugu, ukuje hapa to put our issues on the table.
President RUTO has joined the people of Tanzania in commemorating the 60th anniversary of the union between the former Republic of Tanganyika and the people of the Republic of Zanzibar. The event, hosted by President Samia Suluhu, took place at the Uhuru National Stadium, Dar es Salaam. The event was attended by other heads of state and the government from the South African Development Community and the East African community at large. The government is moving with speed to strengthen the transport sector following the ongoing floods, which tend to destroy most of the nation's infrastructure, including roads and railways. Speaking during a meeting with the National Assembly Transport Committee, Transport PS Mohammed Dagar said that the ongoing rains are the threat to the transport sector, especially on cargo loading and offloading, and also transportation. The PS says measures have been put in place to ensure the rains do not affect goods transportation in the country.
Department in Kenya Railways Corporation moved with speed. Where we needed to do some very quick fixing, we did that. Where we need to put some temporary bridges, we have done that. And I assure Kenyans of a safe means of transportation. In fact, our night train is on schedule from Nairobi to Mombasa as of today. Perhaps our dwell time might be affected because of sometimes we receive vessels like fertilizers or grain vessels that require, to stop discharge, because the discharge is done in an open belly process where either the fertilizer or the grain is sucked out of a vessel. So when it rains, we have to close and slow down the operations. For Lamu Port, we are expecting a fertilizer vessel between the period between 3rd and 5th of May or something like that. We hope that the rains at that point will have subsided.
Kama kuna mtu amechukua shamba la JKIA ama ya port ingine pale KCA, tumeamua kama kamiti lazima tupatiwe majina ya wenye wako na mashamba hapo, company zao, the owners of those companies, ndio tujue ile hatua tutaweza kuchukua. Pia tumesema hakuna leases zitakupatiana pale kabla parliament iidhinishe.
The ruling United Democratic Alliance Party, UDA, kicked off its grassroots elections on Friday to pick officials at the county level. The elections are being conducted electronically to ensure transparency and verifiability. In Nairobi, there was a technical hitch, with Governor Johnson Sakaja experiencing some delays before he could cast his vote. As Stanley Lugari now reports, Sakaja, who had gone to cast his vote at St. George's Primary School, experienced technical challenges as the system briefly failed to recognize his registration details. At the same time, ODM has postponed its elections until further notice due to the ongoing floods in the country.
Kituo kilifunguliwa wakati ambapo tulitarajia kituo kifunguliwe saa 3, na mpaka sasa hivi watu 180 wameshapiga kura hapa katika kituo hiki.
With 2 helicopters in Narok and other parts of the county to aid in delivery of election material, the UDA party primaries in the grassroots were set in motion on Friday amid heavy rains.
We are happy to announce today that we have carried our elections successfully. We have done elections in almost all the polling centers we had intended to do. Despite the harsh weather conditions, we have managed to do what everybody thought that it was impossible.
Challenges, however, marked the entire process, with gadgets failing.
Leo tulienda kupiga kura, tukaona kuna hitilafu kidogo ya mitambo kwa sababu ya jina. Kuna wale ambao hata bado wako hapo sasa, kosekana kwa orodha. Tukaongea na chama, wakasema ni mambo ya IT, wametatua kwa sasa na ni jambo la kawaida.
On the ground, for example, we have been able to the process that you're seeing behind me is a process of being able to establish who is not being allowed to vote. We are preparing lists. What we have only been able to establish at the moment by the admission of the polling agents is that in all the stations of Ngando ward, with every 10 voters, only 2 are being able to be admitted.
UDA Party National Election Board Chairman Engineer Anthony Mwaura insists the process was organized as the party kicked off its grassroots election to pick officials at the county level in 5 counties, namely Nairobi, West Pokot, Homa Bay, Busia and Narok in phase 1 of the party's grassroots election, despite technical hitches and calls to halt the process in some parts of the country.
Na pia leo sio uchaguzi wa mwenyekiti. Tunaanza na committee za polling station, alafu wiki ijayo wataenda kwa ward, alafu wiki ijayo wataenda kwa constituency, alafu ndio itafika kwa county wide positions. Alafu baadaye tutafanya za kitaifa.
So I would call it a bold attempt. I would call it a big experiment, and being a bold attempt and being a very big experiment, we can only judge it by the results. So in a few hours, we will be able to say whether we are conducting a representative democratic election or whether we have had a sham grassroots election.
UDA Vice Chair and Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire maintained her loyalty as she insisted a successful phase 1 and 2 of the election.
But we are happy that our gadgets didn't fail us. So we are happy as a party to be the first party that has gone digital in terms of our grassroots elections.
The elections conducted electronically so as to ensure transparency and verifiability has seen the ruling party also constitute the Elections Dispute Resolution Committee to amicably sort out any dispute that may arise.
Instance to come and vote, and he gives me the ID number and we validate and it shows green light. We give him a go ahead to continue voting. But if the ID number is not valid, too bad.
So the problem is the gadget itself, or what's the problem?
So far I can't say it's the gadget because it has validated other ID numbers.
Same seat with Mheshi, and I too don't seem to appear in the register, and I can't even vote. But again, I realize that I'm in the system. People can vote for me, fine. But what kind of show is it that you cannot vote yourself, and yet you are a bona fide member? So it's very unfortunate that this was stuff that I expected. I know they're teething problems. It's our first time, but the magnitude was not really anticipated.
Additionally, ODM party has suspended elections of grassroots elections that were meant to kick off tomorrow as a result of the impending flash floods that have rendered the accessibility impractical. Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Thanks, Stanley Lugaria. The county government of Isiolo, together with various development stakeholders in the water sector, has unveiled a 12-year water strategy document that is meant to address the perennial water challenges in the area. Isiolo experiences devastating floods every rainy season and severe drought during the dry season. The document is expected to give guidance and a long-lasting solution to water problems in the county.
Isiolo County has launched a 12-year strategy to deal with the water shortage and the challenges arising from the water, especially in the dry areas across the county. Deputy Governor James Lowassa says that they have already placed water pipes to ensure the residents get water in the affected areas.
We have areas in the county where they have not gotten piped water since independence. But somehow, because of the partnership, they are able to access that resource. As a county, we'll give support to all necessary actions that are required in ensuring that wananchi actually get access to clean water.
Elsewhere, farmers who live near the boundaries of Laikipia and Baringo areas that are facing cattle rustling and banditry have been encouraged to embrace pig farming as one way of developing livestock farming in the area.
Mimi nikiwahimiza ya kwamba hebu tufikirie na tuone ya kwamba kukuza nguruwe ni njia mzuri na tunapanga masomo kupitia our chief officer wa livestock na wale wafanyikazi wa serikali na tena na farmers choice na wengine watakuja wakulima mkutano wa kusomeshwa mambo ya kulisha nguruwe.
In Nakuru County, the youth have benefited from the empowerment program courtesy of Ministry of Technology and Communication.
After training, we onboard them on a mentorship program whereby we take them through job opportunities available, after which we link them with job opportunities.
And finally, the Nubi community living in the areas of Kibra, Eldamaravine, Kisumu, Mombasa are complaining of eviction from their homes due to the government plans to build affordable houses.
Sisi kama jamii waliotengwa pia tunalilia masuala ya mambo yetu ya ardhi. Eldamaravine iko na shida, hapa Kisii iko na shida, Kibra saa iko na shida. Mombasa pia tuko na jamii yetu ya Wanubi. So shida kubwa ya Kibra ni ile ardhi tuliopewa na Rais Uhuru Kenyatta. Leo hii Rais Ruto anaichukua na anataka kuweka affordable housing.
Daniel Omayo.
And that story by Daniel Omayo, focusing on the counties, takes us on our second break right in Look Up Weekend. Stay with us. We'll be coming back with more news for you.
It's bigger, it's better, it's Grand Mega Draw. Cheza na shilingi 50 hadi shilingi 2,000 na ushinde mega cash ya 200 million. Isitoshe, kuna mega bonus ya up to 20 million shillings kila Jumatano na Jumamosi. Sio ndoto, unangoja nini? Cheza Loto, it could be you. Nenda kwa M-Pesa paybill number 777-000. Andika neno Look kama account number. Cheza na kati ya shilingi 50 hadi shilingi 2,000 na ushinde sasa. Round hii ni more draws, more cash and big wins na Lotto.
Over 18s only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. This message has been approved by the BCLB.
Are you an SME looking for a media partner? Look no more, as Lookuptv got you covered for all your visibility and marketing needs. We at Lookuptv understand your business needs and want to work with you on your marketing journey, giving you solutions that will take you to the next level. Call us today on 0707 572 358 or send an email to sales@lookuptv.co.ke and kickstart this amazing journey. Welcome to Lookup TV, your official SME media partner. Next on Ukulima ni Mali.
Tuko kwenye zizi la ng'ombe. They call it the cow shed.
Ufugaji wa ng'ombe ina manufaa mingi sana. Lazima awe na chakula ya kutosha. Lazima uangalie akiwa mgonjwa tu hivi kidogo ndio hao wengine wasipate ugonjwa, you have to prevent it. 10, 12, 8 liters anakupatia per day.
Per day. Na kuambia kulima ni mali.
Nutrition feeding yake sio ile ngumu, anakula kiasi na anajua kujipimia chakula yeye mwenyewe. Kuna pneumonia ya ng'ombe na freshen hawashikangwi sana na hiyo pneumonia.
Unajua nimeshangaa kutembea huku nakuta ati ng'ombe wanawekewa CCTV. CCTV inaweza.
Ukulima ni Mali, every Sunday at 4 p.m.
Welcome back. It's time for some sporting action. KCB RFC is set to face off with the northern suburbs of this Saturday in the Enterprise Cup quarterfinals. The Bunkers have won the Cup 5 times in the years 2004, 2007, 2015, 2016 and 2017, and now they're confident they will go all the way to the finals this season and clinch the title.
There's never an easy match. It's on the day who's prepared well, who is ready for that day, and who has brought up the big guns. So we wait and see how the game will go. Yes, it's an opportunity for the other players to step up. Sometimes you don't get that opportunity, but when the opportunity falls for you, then you have to keep it with hands. And being the first time we've played suburbs in a this competition, it's not going to be easy. As usual, like always, we win one game at a time. So yes, end goal is to win it, but long-term goal is to win it. Short-term goal, Saturday's game.
Siaya County is this year's Regional Youth and Junior Boxing Championships host. The tournament will involve boxers from the age of 9 to 18 with both genders represented. 6 counties including Kisumu, Busia, Vihiga, Homa Bay, Migori and Siaya will be represented in the boxing championship. The main aim of the tournament is to uplift young talents and enable them to elevate their boxing career to greater heights.
Tuko na game hapa tarehe 27 Youth and Junior Championship. Hii game itakuwa na team 6. Tutakuwa na Vihiga County, tutakuwa na Kisumu County, tutakuwa na Homa Bay County. Pia Busia pia watakuja hapa. Hii mchezo ni ya kuandaa vijana kabla wajafungua shule. Na vijana wetu wa Siaya perform vizuri katika kiwango wa National League. Na youth pia wanaperform vizuri. Sasa tulionelea tuwapatie game tarehe 27 na tunaomba wapenzi wa mchezo ya ngumi kwa wingi. Hiyo game itakuwa hapa Ndere Market. Itakuwa ni open air. Ndio kwa sababu tuliweka open air hapa Ndere Market ili vijana hawa watoto wazoee macho nyingi ya watu.
Extreme Sports CEO Hussein Mohammed has announced their partnership with the FKF Lamu branch as part of the Super 8 at 20th celebration. The tournament will commence on May 4th and end on May 18th. This special edition will focus on the transformative impact of sports in addressing critical social challenges, especially in tackling extremism and substance abuse among Lamu youth.
Sports is a very powerful tool of bringing communities together. Sports is a powerful tool of giving purpose to this particular demographic.
Timu tumezipeleka kwa regional, nyingine tumeziweka kwa division mpaka 2. Lakini cha kusikitisha mpaka leo hakuna kitu chochote ambacho tunaweza kupata kutoka kwa federation. So hii ni masikitiko makubwa ikiwa timu zitaharamika from all the way mpaka pale ilipofika isipate sponsor. Ni kitu ambacho kinawavunja moyo sana, hata zile talenti zao zinaweza kurudi nyuma.
Na janga la dawa za kulevya ambayo imekuwa ikiathiri vijana wengi katika mkoa wa Pwani, na pia changamoto za usalama, hii mambo ya extremism, vijana wakipata support kama hii ya Hussein Mohamed. Kwa mara ya kwanza Super 8 imechezwa inaadhimisha miaka 20 na Hussein ameangazia akakuja boda ya Somalia kule kutoka Nairobi mpaka boda.
Now, the English Premier League resumes this weekend with West Ham hosting Liverpool at the London Stadium. Manchester United will face Burnley, Aston Villa to battle Chelsea at Villa Park. Sunday's tears off with the juggernaut clash with Tottenham Hotspur battling Arsenal in the North London derby. Defending champions Man City will face off the Nottingham Forest. To 10 p.m. Many thanks for joining us from wherever you've been watching. My name is John Matava. Sign language interpreter tonight has been Philister Adundo. And of course, the team that made this bulletin a success, not forgetting my director, James Momani, and the crew. We are saying thank you to you, viewer. A very good night.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints.